We are live. All right. And I'll go big screen with that. And let's just leave that.
Okay. Oh my God. Are you? Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. Valerie, how are you? Oh my God. Oh, I'm just watching. I'm just observing. No. I'm here. How you loving it here still? Okay.
See it? Yeah.
2022. Let me do the math. That's 75 years since Salve Regina opened. Woohoo! Welcome. 75 years. So I did the math, 2022 minus 1947. I know everybody in this room could do the same math, so congratulations on your Salve education. And welcome to the 14th annual class of inductees for our Athletic Hall of Fame. We have our biggest class ever, 8. We've never gone more than 5. So today we're going to bring our total inductees from 55 to 63 after adding today's 8 finals. It's just astounding. 2 years ago we couldn't do this in 2020. We did bring it back last year, and we had another wonderful group. This marks our 75th anniversary, so we went big. And we're going to get things underway. But first, I need to advance some slides. The reason why we are here are these 8 folks. Kelly Burke, Beth Gemma, Jakiela, Ryan Kelly, Brian Walker, Steve Wilken, Trish, Cronin, and Mick, Klitzner. Now I can tell you I've been practicing for this for a while, because the top 6 I would say Kelly, Beth, Sarah, Ryan, Brian, Steve, Trish, and Mick. Kelly, Beth, Sarah, Ryan, Brian, Steve, Trish, and Mick. Everybody join me. Yeah. Kelly, Beth, Sarah, Ryan, Brian, Steve, Trish, and Mick. Thank you for joining me. Now, let us begin our evening with prayer. Calling on God to bless us in our time together. God of mercy, we invite your presence here with us as we honor and celebrate our former student athletes, coaches, and administrators, and all who help enhance their experience. We thank you for the very ways they animate the mission of Salve Regina University. We thank you for inspiring ingenuity, determination, sacrifice, self-discipline, perseverance, and teamwork. We celebrate all the ways our student athletes seek wisdom, promote universal justice, and live as compassionate mercy leaders. We gather with all that we are today as one community ready to celebrate these very gifts each of us brings. Be with us this day, dear God, and help us use our lives and our power to create a world that is more just, merciful, and harmonious. Did that already. All right. Back it up to here, because here's where I say this group of inductees, Kelly, Beth, Sarah, Ryan, Steve, Trish, and Mick, have all been at Salve Regina under 4 different athletic directors. I've had the fortune to be at Salve Regina under 5 different athletic directors. Lynn Shee, Del Malloy, Colin Sullivan, Jordan Moradian, and the person that's going to come up and speak to us now, Bill Villarreal.
Thank you, Ed, and welcome to Salve Regina University. Some recent and some haven't seen the university in a while, so it's interesting to listen to everybody's intake on the changes and imports or additions to the campus. So that's great to hear. What a weekend. The 75th anniversary, Mercy Week, Fall Festival weekend events, including a 5K run walk, which we had this morning, to include the Salve Athletic Hall of Fame. What a busy campus it is right now. On behalf of our president, Kelly Armstrong, Dr. Leticia Gamble-Boone, and all of us in athletic administration, the committed coaching staffs, the dedicated support staffs, and outstanding student athletes, both past and present. It truly is an honor to be with you all today as we celebrate the 14th class of inductees to the Salve Athletics Hall of Fame. This event is a great time to reflect and recognize the past, present, and future of athletics. If I can have the 2022 honorees, please stand as we recognize and congratulate you. We're recognizing 6 athletes and 2 former coaches and administrators. 6 athletes have already been introduced. Kelly Burke, class of 2013. Beth Gemma, class of 95, Sarah Jakiela, class of 2010. Ryan Kelly, class of 2016. Brian Walker, class of 2009. Steve Wilken, class of 2015. And 2 former coaches, administrators, Trish Cronin, and those representing Mick. Our largest class of inductees to date, if I'm not mistaken, but truly remarkable. This particular group represents the best of Salve Regina athletics during the last 5 decades. You have definitely helped build our strong athletic foundation here at Salve Regina University. Some of you may be wondering, what is the criteria when offering a nomination to the Athletic Hall of Fame? And do I have a chance to get nominated one year? Here are some items to think about. Evidence of strong leadership within the athletic realm, exceptional athletic accomplishment as documented by All-American, Academic All-American, All-Region, All New England recognitions. Milestone athletic accomplishments, starting or rejuvenating a component of the Salve Regina athletic program, or any other reason deemed worthy for the recognition. Clearly, it demonstrated excellence in Salve Regina athletics, so job well done. But it all comes down to this, in my opinion. Your commitment in athletics has definitely made a difference in this community. Your commitment to personal growth, excelling in the classroom, developing your athletic skill sets, training your bodies to compete at the highest level possible. All in becoming the best student athlete, coach, or administrator you can be. Your commitment to being a great teammate through the good times and through the tough times during practices and games. But through it all, being a dedicated good teammate and building a good, successful program. Your commitment to being an outstanding ambassador of the athletic program and of Salve Regina University. You truly are an inspiration for all of us and a positive role model for the future Hall of Famers sitting in the seats right now. Yes, somebody out there will be in your seat soon. Which one is it? Do you know? Any of you guys? You can be a Hall of Famer, you can be a Hall of Famer, but are you willing to work hard? Be proud of your accomplishments, because we are definitely proud of you. Congratulations once again from all of us in Salve Regina University. Thank you for the opportunity so that I could personally congratulate each of you in your outstanding accomplishment. And remember, once a Seahawk, always a Seahawk. Now back to the ceremonies with Ed. We'll see how long before he gets emotional.
Who's that? Bill has the line at 10 minutes, so, oh look, it's already 2:50, I passed. I used to be into nostalgia, but that's a thing of the past. Where's Ryan? See, Ryan's gonna come up here later, and he's gonna challenge me with his jokes, but I hope I didn't steal that out from you. Was that one you had down already? Oh, darn it. Well, I used to be into nostalgia, and I still am. And fortunately, we've been able to collect a lot of video and photos over the years. And by the way, let me thank Andrea Hanson for her work today, taking pictures. We've been blessed over the years with so many people that take pictures and capture moments for us. Andrea, chief among them. So I want to show you. Oh, Bill, it's gonna stop right now. I want to show you a 3-minute video that I put together, and it's titled "Embracing the Future, Preserving the Past." Not my original line, Ryan. I'm not gonna even credit Ryan. It's my aunt Anne. When she was inducted into her school's Athletic Hall of Fame, this was theirs. And as all people in the athletic communications business do, imitation is the highest form of flattery. So I copied it and said, I'm going to use it for Salve because I want to embrace the future and preserve the past.
Scoreboard says 4 seconds to go. They're going to give Ryan Sonberger, who will kick barefoot, a chance to win this ball game. All right, snap. It's the kick. It's a hard kick. And Ryan Sonberger gets the field goal on the left end and wins it for Jakiela. Come on! Odiano! And for the fourth time in program history, the Salve Regina Seahawks are Commonwealth Coast Conference champions. Check. Delivered. Right three, and the Seahawks have won the 2016 Commonwealth Coast Conference Championship. Seahawks fans, celebrate.
Seahawk fans, celebrate! You know what strikes you about that last piece of footage was how a former football player dodged his pitching teammate in baseball to jump on that dog pile. That was Captain Ryan Kelly avoiding Mike Sherman, who wanted to embrace you, Ryan. Embrace the future. But it was all about the dog pile, wasn't it? I've had the pleasure and privilege to also work with many presidents at Salve Regina University. Sister Lucille McKillop, who you saw in the video. Sister Teresa Antone, who you saw in the video. Sister Jane Garrity, who you saw in the video. And Dr. Kelly Armstrong, who you saw in the video. And who's very instrumental in transitioning Salve Regina from its over 30-year plus existence as a member of the Commonwealth Coast Conference to now the New England Women's and Men's Athletic Conference. So we are celebrating that as part of our 75-year history as well. Let's move on to the presentation of inductees. And the way we're going to do it is I'm going to throw up an 8-second intro clip, and the person who remains in color shall come up on stage right now. Let's welcome Kelly Burke. Let's get the photos out of the way right now. And hold your plaque out here. And step up front so that you're not getting hit by the light from the projector. Kelly Burke, Georgetown, Massachusetts, played 2 sports, both with Coach Foster as her head coach. She is here today to join you. A nursing major, just 3 healthy seasons in field hockey, but you graduated as the program's 2nd leading scorer all time, and you remain the all-time leading scorer for Salve Regina Women's Lacrosse, and the program's first inductee for women's lacrosse. 64 points and 166 goals. You still have the 2nd most assists for a women's lacrosse player, 58, as you helped the team to its only double-digit victory total in 2011. We were 10-5 back then. You are, as we said, a nursing major. You're still involved with Salve Regina, and you've come back as a teacher. How awesome is that you give back to your school? And last, in both sports, you were a captain, and we are excited to welcome you as the newest member of Salve Regina's Athletic Hall of Fame.
Thank you. Thank you, Ed, and the athletic department for putting this on today. This is pretty special. I don't have much to say, but big thanks to my family and Coach Foster. I don't think I would be here today if it weren't for you guys, so thank you for all your support over the years. It's pretty surreal to be back here teaching 10 years later, so it's nice to still be a big part of the Salve community. And other than that, congrats to the rest of you inductees. It's nice to see some familiar faces again, so congrats to everyone. Thank you.
And next, we are going in alphabetical order for the Seahawk athletes, and we will bring up Beth Gemma. Photos first. Beth Gemma, and if you look at the program, you might be seeing double because Barbara Egan has a knack of showing up in so many different photos. She's here with Beth as she was coaching Beth in soccer her senior year. And she also ends up in Trish Cronin's action photo, because she was the head coach of the soccer program when Trish was out attending to an injured player on the Fort Adams field. Beth, you played for 3 different soccer head coaches. Lynn Sheedy won a championship in '91. George Denny won a championship in '93. And as we mentioned, head coach Barbara Egan. 2 head basketball coaches, Bernie Norman and Mick Klitzner, who were also honored today. You were the lone senior on the 94-95 team in women's basketball, and that team had an outstanding season, reached the finals of the Commonwealth Coast Conference. You were the assistant coach on the 2003-2004 team that won a championship, beating somebody at home, and then beating Emmanuel College in the NCAA's first and only women's basketball team to win an NCAA Division III championship game, going on to advance to Batson, Bowdoin College the following weekend. You were on this campus when True Lies was filmed. And I know you have a lot of true eyes to share, but I remember that time as well, hanging around with your basketball coach, Mick Klitzner, and going to the Sept, which was right over at Open Court, and the student athletes and the students in general were just amazing. Did you ever see Arnold? No. Well, like Arnold, you will be back. So, congratulations, Beth Gemma.
Thank you to the selection committee and all the inductees tonight. You guys have all very impressive resumes. You should be very proud of yourselves. Trish spent far too many moments in your training room with my feet in buckets of ice water, but it was effective. Not my favorite memory, but it was good. Coach Klitzner, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention him. He's a great coach. I still see him stomping down the sidelines to yell at us or give us those encouraging words, really, is what Coach did. He always coached with such passion. It's very nice to see that he's being inducted tonight. I just want to say thank you to my family. You're my support, and thank you.
Thank you, Beth. Welcome in more members of our baseball team. Before that, we go to softball. Sarah Jakiela. All right. Now, softball and baseball, they have these walk-up songs. And did we have them back 12 years ago? Okay. What would yours have been?
No, I don't know. No idea.
Does it go something like this? Jakiela. Okay, then We'll have to have you come back. We'll do it for you and Megan. Well, as you can see, if I play the clip for Sarah, you will see that she's not just a great pitcher, but she was also a hitter as well. Great teammates. I know a couple of them are here, Kristen and Alicia. Any other teammates here? Raise your hand. I might have missed you. Look at that hitting. You were recruited by then head coach Lisa Yenish, who is here as well. And you played for Kerry Scoop. Sarah, I gotta ask, whose idea was it to get a team pitcher in the snow with shorts? Fortunately, we had some snow in Newport. It happens. And this team relied on Sarah's pitching. She dominated in the circle for the Seahawks while leading softball to an 82-74-1 record over her 4 seasons as a pitcher, including the program's first trip to an ECAC postseason tournament. Her 45 games started in 2009 still ranks second all-time in the NCAA Division III record book in a single season. Outstanding. You were the CCC Pitcher of the Year. You graduated with more innings pitched than all but 2 other divisional competitors. We're not just talking CCC here. We're talking NCAA Division III all-time. You struck out 1,042 batters, which is twice as many as any other previous Seahawk pitcher, and let's embrace the future. Nobody has done it since. So a lot of numbers in here. Do the reading. Let's congratulate Sarah Jakiela.
Thank you very much for this award. Thank you to my coach and teammates for nominating me. Thank you to my family and my friends who came a long way to be here today. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing in this special moment with me. My parents for making it possible for me to call this beautiful place home for 4 years, so thank you. This time I'm not going to forget to thank my dad for catching fastballs in practice all those years, and then my sister Megan for learning to catch to give him a little bit of a break too. So thank you. I couldn't have done it without all of you. Thank you.
Sarah, I do have one more question for you. What's your middle name? Kay. Enough said. Did you have that one too? I think we're on the right. Like it. Oh, and that's him too. Come on up, Ryan. What are you talking about? Didn't get many awards. He did get hit by a pitch a lot. I was going to ask you that question. What do these letters mean to you? HBP. For that pitch. Yes. Nobody more than you. How's it feel?
Still standing. Good.
How did you practice for that?
You can ask my father. There's an art to it.
All right, Kevin Kelly.
Stand them up against the wall and keep throwing them at them.
Thank you. Now we know the true lies. All right, Burke Catholic, Walbrook, New Jersey. I said that so many times over the years. Introducing Casey. And Ryan, this is your last at bat as a college college player right there in the NCAA Division III regionals in Scranton, PA. This is you in the Seahawk mascot costume with your then future wife, Melissa Figueredo, now Melissa Kelly. Congratulations to Ryan and Melissa. They just got married this year. Surrounding their favorite son? No, their oldest son. Okay. At a place in Florida, probably Lake Myrtle Park in Auburndale. What a fun ride it was covering Salve baseball. As we mentioned, Ryan's a big fan of dog piles and doesn't like to hug his teammates unless he gets to dive on top of them first. But you can see the numbers in here on why he's coming into our Athletic Hall of Fame. A four-time first team All CCC outfielder, and served as captain in his final 2 seasons, which included championships, ECAC, and CCC. The latter bringing the Seahawks to a trip to the NCAA Division III regionals, which was in Scranton, a great location for it. Ryan made this catch on the Friday night game, or might have been Thursday night, out in deep center field, up to the wall. It was an ESPN-worthy highlight clip. And the announcers for the game were just amazed that you were able to get out there. Corey Poplowski was ecstatic that you were able to get out there for it. You are the only Salve Regina baseball player ever with 200 hits and 200 runs scored. Not even Coach Sorella there, pal. Coach Sorella! But you do join your head coach, Eric Sorella, in the Athletic Hall of Fame. Welcome.
Some notes. I'm probably just going to black out a little bit, as Coach Sorella said maybe 5 years ago when he did the Athlete of the Year speech. So first off, big thank you to Ed, Bill, and of course Jody. I don't know, Jody, if you're here, but cheers to you on your retirement, and I want to thank you for pushing me both on and off the field. You're a big reason for why I went to go and get my MBA. First off, I'd like to congratulate my fellow inductees, Kelly, Beth, Sarah, Brian, Steve, Trish, and Mick and his family. What an honor it is to be here with all of you, and great to learn about all your accomplishments here. So just a quick kind of backstory. When Ed first called me, I can honestly say I was surprised and honored. I was actually making sure he had the right Kelly sibling. So he did take my joke. I'm like, are you serious? So for those of you that don't know, my younger brother Casey also went to Salve. He played soccer here. A lot more awards than me. 2-time All-American soccer player, player of the year. But long story short, Ed had the right Kelly brother. So thank you, Ed, and the athletics department. Looking back at how I got to Salve Regina, it wasn't originally for baseball. It was actually for football, which may sound pretty surprising. I had zero interest for many college coaches to play baseball. Still not sure why, but as you can say, everything happens for a reason. With that being said, luckily I had the opportunity to meet Todd Parsons, Bob Chesney, and our current head football coach, Kevin Gilmartin. After that, I guess you could say the rest is history. I decided to play Salve football and walk on to the baseball team. Fast forward to the fall of 2012, I went to go see Coach Sorella in the back of the room there. After a quick phone call to my high school coach, he was told he hit the lottery. After that, I'm not sure Coach Sorella may have thought that to be true, but I think after the first few games in the spring of 2013, we made sure that statement was true. Coach and I can both agree it worked out pretty well for us during my playing career, and after 4 short years, we ended with a championship. The baseball program gave me the opportunity to grow both on and off the field, and has helped me with both my professional career and time management skills. In particular, I learned one valuable saying, and there's 2 guys on the team here, and I'm sure the rest of you guys know it in the back there. So if you want to say it with me, it's stuck with me for a while. Early is on time is late, don't bother showing up. With that being said, Ed, I'll keep this to 5 minutes. I know I have a lot of pages here, so I'll keep going quickly. But seriously, to all my teammates over the course of my career, we helped set the standard for Salve baseball. To the boys in the back, there's 2 guys in the front here that I truly want to thank. The numbers and individual awards, seem to fade away. The things you remember most are the relationships and friendships you build over the course of your career here. So shout out to the boys that I graduated with, Cronin, McDermott, Gibby, and my co-captain, Mike Sherman. Thank you for everything over our 4 years together. We created a lifelong friendship and some of the best memories I ever had, both on and off the field. Yes, that includes McDermott striking me out. He's not here today, but we'll give him a shout out just because he deserves it. Gibby working with the bunters and the Panza. Croce allegedly throwing 90. We don't think he did, but maybe he did. Too bad we didn't have a radar gun. And lastly, my co-captain, Mike Sherman. I will never forget you facing Coach Sorella in the cage and getting him out. So much for that 4.47 average, Coach. Last couple things, but most importantly, we got this Salve Championship run going in 2016, and without you guys, this program isn't where it is today. So thank you to you guys. I wouldn't be standing here today if it wasn't for some pretty important people, my family in particular. I want to start with my hero and role model, my dad. There's no one I would rather have teach me the game of baseball growing up. You taught me the importance of getting on base, the art of leaning into pitches, which you heard earlier, and the most important skill of all, base running. In your words, speed kills and base running wins games. And with all these skills, you helped me excel on the field. You instilled a work ethic in me to compete every day and outwork anyone that stands in my way. You also taught me to pay attention to detail and focus on the little things. If anyone knows the game of baseball or has been watching over the past month as teams push to reach the playoffs, base running and getting on base helps win close games. I'm truly thankful for everything you have done for me and enabling me to have some of the best opportunities both on and off the field. Now on to my mom, or better known as my agent. I know Kimberly, Casey, and I lucked out having you as the most loving mother. I thank you for supporting all of us. You were my number one fan throughout my career, and I don't think there's a bigger Salve fan in the country. Every single game, 162 times, I received these text messages. Good luck, play hard, have fun, go Salve. And I'm truly thankful for that. I also don't think there's anyone that knew the other team better than her. She always had the scouting report, so probably better than Coach Sorella. So thank you for that. Of course, I can't forget my two siblings, the best two siblings you could probably ever ask for. Kimberly and Casey, thank you so much for both supporting me throughout my career, and thank you for coming to the countless games. I know I can always count on you to be on my team. Lastly, Casey, hope you're taking notes because there's no doubt in my mind you're going to be up here in the next 4 years making the same speech, so hopefully it's a little shorter. Again, sorry. And thanks for letting me in before. Last couple thank yous. Sorry, everyone. I'm dragging on here on you, but Salve introduced me to my beautiful wife, Melissa, who's here today. She was a big supporter of mine throughout my playing career and understood why I was so busy living out in the vineyard playing summer ball instead of hanging out at the Atlantic Beach Club with you all summer in Newport. Apologize. And the last thank you goes to the man in the back of the room there, Coach Sorella. I could speak for an hour on this guy, but as he would say, less is more. Let's keep a simple approach. I mentioned it earlier. He was told he hit the jackpot. Totally hit the lottery by having me on your team. But the reality is, I hit the lottery having the chance to play for you. You're the best baseball coach I've ever played for, but more importantly, you're a better person and one of my best friends. I truly want to thank you for everything throughout my 4 years of playing. You helped me reach my potential and give me the opportunity for 3 summers to go play competitive baseball in Torrington and in the Vineyard against Division I players each summer. You motivated me daily and challenged to be the best version of myself and got me to buy into the process. Guys, buy into the process. He knows what he's talking about. As John Wooden would say, a good coach can change a game, but a great coach can change a life. And that's what you did for me. You helped mold me into the person I am today, and I will forever be grateful. Thank you for everything, and I think it's time we retire that 447 tab and open up the 200-200 one down at Speaks. I'm truly honored to be here and be inducted into the Salve Athletics Hall of Fame. The memories and most importantly, the friendships made here are something I will cherish forever. Thank you, everyone.
Well done, Ryan. Now, you may, or I may, wonder what's up with Ime. Enough said. I was going to go there. You guys get it.
Not even a little.
But I did not wonder 14 years ago when showing up in my office was Danny Ainge of the Boston Celtics. He found his way all the way to the back end of the Rogers Recreation Center and said, "Hello, I'm Danny Ainge." I'm like, "Yes, I know." I knew exactly what he was there for, and so I gave him a quick but very good tour of the Rogers Recreation Center. And the rest, as they say, is history, because the Boston Celtics wound up spending 3 different seasons with their preseason workouts at the Rogers Recreation Center. Now, because of EMA, they may not return to the Rogers Recreation Center. But when they were there was also the time that we had this young gentleman patrolling goal for the Salve Regina University Seahawk men's lacrosse team. Please welcome Brian Walker. Brian Walker. I think we can thank Andrea Hansen for these photos at Reynolds Field back in 2008, 2009. This is my video work, not a crisp shot. Here's Brian Walker with Coach Cronin. All of your games I discovered were at Reynolds Field. You were a unanimous selection to the Salve Regina Top 25, and I gotta tell you, talking with Coach Parks and with Coach Cooney, that thing was spectacular that it got put together. 25-year history of men's lacrosse program coincided with a 75-year history of Salve Regina University. So Brian, a unanimous selection to the top 25 anniversary team. He backboned the men's lacrosse team as goaltender for 4 seasons. Made an immediate impact your freshman year. You guys posted double-digit victories, 11 for the first time. And that was during your freshman season. School best 810 career saves. Each of your individual seasons are in the top 10 all-time for any Salve Regina goaltender. And your senior season, you finished with 9 consecutive games on the road. And the Seahawks won 6 times, including 7-6 at MIT. You earned the university's Brother Michael Reynolds Award twice, back-to-back years. That's not just athletic excellence, that is academic excellence. So, outstanding. You sent me an email recently that shared one of your favorite memories, athletic-wise, was defeating New England College on the road in the postseason 3 days after they had beaten us to end the regular season. So, way to come back, and glad to have you back as a Hall of Famer. Thank
you. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Bill, and congratulations to the Hall of Fame class of 2022. From day one that I was on the lacrosse team, Coach Cooney emphasized that we were student athletes and not just lacrosse players. He challenged us on the field and also in the classroom, requiring us to get progress reports from our professors to show how we were doing and to make sure we were going to class. The student-athlete mentality Coach instilled in us changed the trajectory of my career and my life for the better. Reflecting back, one of the things I'm most proud of is that I went from the conference rookie of the year as a freshman to the conference scholar athlete of the year my senior year. A complete transformation for somebody that went to college to play lacrosse. I found my love of business during my time at Salve and went on to get my CPA license, my master's in finance, and I'm currently on the final level of my CFA charter. That most likely wouldn't have happened if Coach Cooney didn't stress the importance of our Salve education. So thank you, Coach. Playing goalie might seem like an individual effort, but in reality, I relied on so many great teammates during my career, many of whom could be standing where I am today, and hopefully will be someday. This is truly a team award, as I couldn't have been successful at my position without incredible teammates, coaches, and trainers. We set a strong foundation for the lacrosse program during the early years, and I'm excited to watch the continued success of the team as they join the new MAC conference in 2023. A special shout out to Coach Cooney and Coach Parks for organizing the 25th anniversary team, which ultimately led to my nomination for this award. I'm forever grateful that you nominate me as the first men's lacrosse player for the Hall of Fame. I'd also like to thank my family for the never-ending support during my career. My parents for showing up to almost every game in both high school and college. My grandmother who called to congratulate me after all my big accomplishments. My brother Dennis, who was the first one in the family to own a lacrosse stick and who showed us how to catch and throw. And most importantly, my brother Chris, who took thousands and thousands of shots at me, and when he was on a Division I scholarship my senior year, transferred to Salve so we could play on the same team one final season. I wouldn't have had the success I did without my brother Chris. I'm truly blessed to receive this honor, and I hope it's just the beginning of a long history for the men's lacrosse program. Thank you, and congratulations to the Hall of Fame class of 2022.
Thank you, Brian. And like Kelly Burke, Brian does represent the first men's lacrosse player in our Athletic Hall of Fame. So congratulations again. And now we move on to Ryan Kelly's one-year teammate in football. Ryan was on the sidelines in a clip you saw earlier when Steve Wilken was passing a touchdown to Trey Scales in the NEFC Championship game in 2012. So Steve Wilken, welcome to the stage. How's it going?
It's going good.
It's going good. We see Steve Wilken on the screen, a prolific passer. But he wasn't just a passer. He knew when to hand it off. Dan Bonacore. And he won championships and got to championship games. Steve was, all 4 years as a quarterback, was in a title game. ECAC as a freshman, winning with then head coach Bob Chesney. NEFC championship game in 2012 against Framingham State. ECAC again in 2013. And then in 2014, he finished with a victory over Norwich, 48-21. Another ECAC championship for the Seahawks. So all 4 years advancing to a championship game. As Andrew Pizzelli and Christian Lauber broadcast in, I believe, your final regular season game against Endicott as a senior, he didn't just pass the ball, he knew how to run. And he scored a touchdown in that game with your legs. He was an all-around quarterback, but he does hold the records. Program record for pass completions, 2011 and 2014. And the all-time records for pass attempts, 1,018, completions 566, yards 7,121, passing touchdowns 74. Which was your favorite, completing the short pass or the long?
Probably a short one. Yeah, less work.
You're
Probably short, one long.
probably going to tell us who your favorite receiver was, and it's somebody like Tom Brady, who's never open.
Yeah, never open.
Well, you are open now. Join the mic, and congratulations. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Thank you.
I'd like to say thank you for Salve for having me here again. It's an honor to be recognized for this award. Congratulations to all the nominees. It's an honor to be here with you guys. Thank you to my family, my coaches, my teammates, all my friends that pushed me to have the success in football that I had. I wouldn't have been here without you guys. Thank you.
Kelly, Beth, Sarah, Ryan, Brian, Steve. Trish! Trish! Trish Cronin! Where do we start, Trish Cronin? Where do we start? Got a lot of notes here. I got a lot of notes here. Well, it is the facts. The facts are facts. Here's the opinions. Opinions on the opinions. All right. Let's take us back to 2003. 2003. Damian Cosentino is ready to set the all-time hit streak in the NCAA. He's ready to break Robin Ventura's all-time record, which then stood at 58. But he's too behind, right? He's too behind. He starts the season with 56. Well, let's back it up even further. So it's March 2003. We're in the airport. Lisa Yanish has a softball team there. Steve Sorella has his baseball team there. Trish and I are SID athletic trainer. We don't have a team to coach. So when the offer went up, excuse me, everybody in the TF Green Airport, who would like to volunteer to pass on their seat and get another flight down to Fort Myers? Here. We beelined right to the table and said, hi, Trish Cronin at Havishore. We'd like to take that offer. Well, here's what they did for us, Trish. They put us in a limousine from Providence, or Warwick, to Boston. A limousine. They put us on a first-class flight from Boston to Newark. First class. I don't know about Trish. It was my first and only time in first class. True lies. And now, first class to Newark. All right, but we still have to catch up to softball because they did leave before us. They left before us. Cash Griffith is in the house too. Cash. There you are. Yeah, he was on that same trip. So we land in Fort Myers, not too far from Trish's hometown of Cape Coral, Florida, where we got to visit her mom as well. I get in my rental car. Trish doesn't need a rental car because she knows the locals. But she gets in my car as well. But where's our luggage? Softball got into the airport before us. Where's our luggage? Well, thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Cash, for picking up our luggage at the Fort Myers airport. And as we drove to the softball hotel, we noticed a van pulled over on the side of the highway. I believe it was 41. It was Cash's van, I think, that wasn't going anymore. So we actually got to the hotel before the softball team did. Thanks for bringing our luggage. We really appreciate it. That was 2003. And Trish, as a true athletic trainer, loves every team. She, Steve Krasner, a reporter for the Providence Journal, myself, issued all journalistic principles and wore our rally caps that helped Damian get the streak to 57, 58 that day, and then eventually 59 and 60 the following days. So we witnessed a lot. I'm not going to embarrass you yet. Darn it. Let's get on to her softball career, because that's how I first knew Trish, and she was leading Salve Regina softball, and it's great to have the softball team, the current edition of the softball team, here in the audience, to 3 consecutive Commonwealth Coast Conference championships, 92, 93, 94. Outstanding. Del Malloy arrives, and he says, I want you to be my full-time athletic trainer, and hands the job to Cash Griffith and Ron Manton. They won a championship in 99. But before they got hold of it, Mick Klitzner coached the team in 97. What was your advice to Mick?
Don't do it.
Okay. He did it. And he got him to a conference championship game with, I believe, Regis at that time. So you laid the foundation for success in that program. It's been carried on. Cash and Ron got a title, Jessica DiPolito and Janelle Klitzner got titles later on, and Shona Mulcairn and Megan Hodgson are going to do the same last year in the CCC, and then on to the new mat. Clark. Enough said. Clark University. How's your softball?
We're young.
Okay. Well. Again, I mentioned Barbara Egan earlier. She finds a way into all these photos. Lisa Yanish, Cash Griffith, Keith Corey wanted to be here. Gave me an email this morning. Do want to recognize Alyssa, Ricky, Cronin, Riley, and Chloe. Trish's last act as an athletic trainer for Salve Regina University was the 2005 NCAA baseball regionals in Harwich, Cape Cod. And then she said, "Bye, Salve, I won't work for you again." But she did come back because I had the fortune of scheduling a tennis match, women's tennis, in 2007 with Dowling on Long Island. I had two seniors then, both from West Hampton Beach High School. They said, "Coach, we'll host our team and play there." I said, "Okay." We just got to find an opponent to play, and Dowling was willing to play us. So Christina and Michelle Kennedy got to see their former athletic trainer in their final match as college players. Salve beat Dowling 7-2. And then Trish comes back with Clark University in 2013. I created this event called Hard Court Triples. Salve has the most unique event in the world called the Grass Court Doubles at the International Tennis Hall of Fame. I was blessed when our Hall of Famer Paul Cardoza started that event in the 80s. So we're already closing in on 40 years of grass court doubles at the Tennis Hall of Fame. So I tried to be as creative as Paul Cardoza and created this event called Hard Court Triples. We invited schools to come down and play a unique format on the hard courts on Leroy Avenue. And that was 2013, Johnson & Wales, UMass Dartmouth, and Clark University. Who came down with the Clark University team? Trish Cronin! Go Cougars! Now, she didn't just travel with the team, she coached them because they didn't have a tennis coach at the time, or the tennis coach was involved in something else. Probably the men's team this spring, right? That's what happened. Well, what did they do with Trish as the head coach? They won the first ever hard court triples. Congratulations, Clark and Trish Cronin. Have I embarrassed you yet? The rest you can read in the program. I'm sure Trish is eager to speak to all. Have I passed the 10-minute mark on the? Well, we'll be coming short. Congratulations.
I've been writing this over and over again, and my daughter Riley could actually recite this for me. So thank you, Ed. Thank you, Salve Regina, for this wonderful honor. And thank you and congratulations to my fellow inductees. There's a picture in here that hits me right here. So I never would have guessed this would have happened. You know, I drove up here with my mother in the summer of '89, so start working on your fingers. I had just graduated from college. I had no idea what I was going to do. Regular college graduate. So my mother and I drive up to Newport. I'm here to visit my cousin, Chris Kiernan, who worked at Clark. And there was an opportunity.
Salve.
I'm gonna do it 3 times, so that's 1. So there was an opportunity at Salve to work. My whole life I had been an athlete. Athletics had defined me. I knew what I was gonna do, I knew who my friends were gonna be, and I knew where I was gonna play sports. College ended. I had nothing to do at that point. I get to Newport. Salve becomes the bridge in my life. Salve was the place where I could bridge my athletic past with now a real job. So I started as an athletic trainer. What a wonderful experience. Then I got the opportunity to coach. I got paid to do something that was so much fun. These pictures here capture what my life was. It was what I would consider one of the best times of my life. People say you learn things in college. I don't think that's it. I think you learn who you are after college. And these years at Salve were my pivotal time. Who here is on social media? Everybody, raise your hand. I'm not. I don't really look through social media a lot. But I do know there are influencers on social media. And throughout my life, I've had nothing but influencers. At Salve, I almost said Clark. I have many influencers here. Many people that I've hugged today that I haven't seen in a very long time. And they have influenced me throughout my life and my course and had me pivot here and there. When I first got to Salve, the 3 dearest friends in my life was this man here, Keith Corey, who didn't show today, and this gentleman here who will be celebrating. They were my life. They were my mentors, they were my friends. I moved on from Salve and went in different directions. And I've had lots of influencers in my life. They say it takes a village to raise people. Well, it has taken me a village. And my village is right here. And when I was writing this, I asked each and every one of them what I should say, and they all said, make sure you mention me. So that's what I'm going to indulge my family with right now, is making sure I mention them. First, my Salve family. I've seen Tracy, I've seen Karen Luchin, Babs, who's been on all those shots. Thank you very much. You've molded me and you've made me this person standing in front of you. To my extended family, you never know when you get married what your mother-in-law is going to be like. I hit a home run with my mother-in-law. She's the rock, she's the matriarch right now to her family. My sister, who's 14 months older than me. 14 months older than me. One would say almost Irish twins, but not. So she's been with me ever since I've been in the cradle, influencing everything I do, from the time I can recall anything until today when I asked for her advice on something. She married her husband in Ochre Court, and then she gave birth to 2 of the most dearest people in my life, Grace and Addie. I love them dearly. Another member of my extended family is Lisa Yanish. She's my best friend. She's my mentor. She's the godmother to my child. And every time she's at my house, she's like my nanny. She takes care of my 2 girls. Everybody always says, how can I get a Lisa? Because she does everything. And then my true support, my everything. My wife, Alyssa, and my 2 daughters. They influence everything I do. From 6 o'clock in the morning, when they wake up, till I put my head down at night. They are my life, they are my world, and I love you very much. Thank you very much.
I am glad we made it a short walk back to the chairs for each of our honorees. Thank you, Trish. Congratulations. You're going to be back up here. We're about to recognize the gentleman that you referred to. We know him as Mick. His family probably called him Dad and John. But he's always been Mick to us. Passed away in 2018. And I'd like to play this first, and then we can look at the photos together. Answer, right? That'll keep looping. And at this time, I'd like to call up people that see their picture up there on the screen. Karen Luchin, Tracy Potter, Michelle Colbert, Beth Gemma, come on up. Alyssa Ricky Cronin, come on up. Cash Griffith, Lisa Yenish, Trish Cronin, come on up. Let us show the Klitzner family gathered here today, just as Trish said, the impact that Coach Klitzner had on all of us. I'll go back to 2000. The year my wife and I took our daughter to New York City. She's going to dance for the first time in New York City. And we're expecting our son later that year. And I got to go on the David Letterman show. Yes, the David Letterman show. How is that possible in New York City? I'll tell you how. Thank you, Mick Klitzner. Born April 12th, 1943. Mick Klitzner. What does that have to do with getting on the David Letterman show? I'm going to tell you. Mick and I hung out so many times. I mean, Mick would pick me up in Warwick because we both lived in Warwick. We ride share into work. But like Trish said, it wasn't work. It was something we loved to do. And I get to know Mick's birthday, and it helped me with a trivia question when my buddy Bob Christensen and I were hanging outside the Ed Sullivan Studios in New York City, away from the dancing. And an intern with the David Letterman show came up and asked Bob and I, would you like to see the David Letterman show tonight? He said, yeah, we'd love to. Well, you gotta answer a trivia question. When is David Letterman's birthday? I know. April 12, 1947. He's 4 years younger than Mick Klitzner. That's how I got on. But I owe so much more to Mick Klitzner, as does everybody here on the stage. What you see here in this image is the Fund for Community Progress. Del Malloy invited Henry Sheldon down and his pals to play a softball game. Melissa Ricky was part of it. My tennis players were part of it. Katie Judge was a part of it as well. Trish Cronin was part of it. We've got an All-American here. I mean, these people on the stage are in our Athletic Hall of Fame. And Mick Klitzner came back to present their awards. We lost them in 2018. Judy joined him in 2019, the following year. And I'd like the rest of his family to come on up, and let's give a big congratulations to the Klitzner family. And at this time, I'd like to ask Kelly Fluette, Mick's daughter, who actually, ironically, has spent more time in the Rogers Recreation Center than her dad. She has been part of the Rhode Island Blood Center's donation drive.
Glasses on. I need those nowadays. Thank you, Salve Regina, for honoring my father, Mick Klitzner. In particular, I would like to thank Ed Habshaw, who I know was instrumental in making this possible. My family is very proud to accept this recognition on my father's behalf, and I'm sure he's looking down on us today, thrilled to see so many former players and friends here. For as long as I can remember, my dad's life revolved around sports. There was always a Red Sox or Celtics game on TV. My siblings and I knew that we had no shot at getting anywhere near the television on a Sunday during the football season. His dad, or Pop as we called him, was a longtime coach for the local rec team as well as our church CYO league. My father was no different and followed in his footsteps. I don't remember exactly when my father started coaching, but I do remember being very young and begging him to take me along to the games with him. Whenever I went, he always let me be the back row during the game, and I was thrilled to get to hang out in the dugout with all the rest of the team. And where am I? Okay. That's when I started to realize how passionate he was about coaching and how much he really loved it. His love for sports was contagious, as my brother, sister, and myself all became involved in organized sports and played throughout high school and college. My sister Chrissy and I were lucky enough to have him for our coach in high school at St. Xavier's Academy. He coached both the basketball and softball teams there, and we played on both. Not only did we get to experience firsthand his knowledge of the game as players and learn skills to help us develop as athletes, but he showed us the importance of team chemistry and respecting each other as individuals. Dad's passion for coaching only grew as the years went by. Not long after we graduated high school, my dad started coaching at Salve. From the very start, he loved being a part of the Salve Regina community. He would invite us to come down so he could show us the beautiful campus and watch a game or two. He would also come home and tell us funny stories about things that had happened at work. It was very clear to us that he was really enjoying his time at Salve and making some great friends here. He may not be receiving this honor because of his epic win-loss record, but he was a very impactful coach. His great strength was his connection to his players. Their success mattered to him far more than his own. He used his sense of humor to help draw his teams together and created a positive atmosphere, but his knowledge of the game is what earned his players respect. When my dad passed away in 2018,
Dozens of former players and co-workers came to the wake to share their Mickey stories with us. Many stories had us laughing through our sorrow, and all were a great comfort to my mom and our entire family. For weeks after, my mother was still bringing up some of the stories she'd heard and how happy she was to hear what a positive presence my dad was to so many people. If you knew Mickey's name, you knew him as a passionate spirit, a corny jokester with a great sense of humor, and a coach with a deep and genuine love for his trade and the players he was so proud to lead. Thank you for honoring my dad today. My family and I are very proud and extremely grateful to be part of today's events. Congratulations to everyone, to all the inductees in the Salve Regina Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2022. Thank you.
I will never forget the Paul Simon song that Mick used to get psyched up for a tournament in Newburgh, New York. Mount St. Mary's hosted it. And he just said, slip sliding away. Listen, Ricky remembers this song. Slip sliding away. You know, the nearer your destination, the more you slip sliding away. Well, congratulations to Kelly, Beth, Sarah, Ryan, Brian, Steve, Trish, Mick and his family. Thank you so much for attending today's ceremony. We'll still have the stage available if you want to stick around for some photos that you haven't gotten. I do want to recognize our Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. Letitia Gambrill-Boone. Thank you for attending today's ceremony. Thanks again to Bill Villarreal. One last huge thank you that I need to make. My wife, Lynn Habershaw. Thank you. Is anybody missing the Patriots game yet? Either am I. Congratulations. Thank you. Everybody got a one group shot and clap.
I'll write that down.
Sorry, no, that's fine.
Okay, wait, what about this for the travel?
What?
No. This with sneakers. With sneakers. Like it looks I think it looks nice. Yeah, like You'll be back in 3 hours. Oh yeah, they count it out.
Yeah. Well, this puts
Yeah.
No. I kept
I mean, it was pretty cool. Yeah. It's awesome. Yes.
Oh, yes. I know.
His cousins are like a character.
Do you want a picture with you?
You got to show.
Is it heavy?
That's how I look.
A lot of baseball must be.
I was like, I didn't know we had that large of a team. This was
Ed, great job, Ed.
We're live streaming. Thank you. Oh, we have comments too. Oops. Yeah.
We should have been commenting from our phones.
I didn't know. I only know.
Some fun.
Good.
Congratulations, Ryan Kelly. Tim Donahue is tuned in.
I didn't know you were doing that.
Yeah.
Well, great to see you, Ed.
I know.
Thank you guys for coming.
Here he is. It's great to be here.
Overlay.
Yeah, getting them in there.
I know.
Yeah.
You guys got them in there.
Congratulations.
Never held up my end of the bargain.
I could have.
I was supposed to.
I actually have a really cool picture of Mick and I that if I had known you were needing a pic, it's like one of my favorites.
Do you?
Yeah.
Can we do it over then?
Let's start again.
You know what? Which redo? Hold on.